setting the president up for an acquittal. Late reaction coming in now. Mary Bruce live on the Hill. John Carl live at the White House. Also breaking tonight, the coronavirus. The Trump administration now declaring a public health emergency right here in the U.S. Another case confirmed tonight. The president barring foreign nationals from the region if they're a risk. And now planes from that part of the world only allowed at 7 major airports in the U.S., with hundreds of Americans still stranded in China. The alarming scene at Mar-a-Lago hours before President Trump's arrival. An SUV crashing through 2 checkpoints. Authorities opening fire. In New York City tonight, the chaotic scene playing out right now during rush hour. Word coming in of a number of arrests, and we have late reporting. We're watching severe storms this Super Bowl weekend. Rob Marciano timing it out. The horrifying moment, the deadly stadium collapse, workers preparing to demolish the building when it gives way on its own. We have new images tonight of that high-rise rescued apartment building on fire, the man clinging to the ledge. The Ted Bundy case, and for the first time in decades, the former girlfriend and her daughter, who were with him for years, in a rare interview with Amy Robach, why they think their lives were spared. And so many of you at home wrote to us after something you saw right here this week. Who are our persons of the week?
This is ABC World News Tonight with David Muir.
Good evening. It's great to have you with us here on a very busy Friday night. And we begin with the breaking news in the impeachment trial of President Trump. The Senate voting just a short time ago, defeating a motion to call witnesses. There will be no witnesses. John Bolton will not be heard in the Senate. All eyes had been on 4 moderate Republicans, but the Democrats' hopes of witnesses first dimming when Tennessee's Lamar Alexander said he would vote no on witnesses, but saying what the president did was inappropriate, but not impeachable. But Maine's Susan Collins voting yes, along with Mitt Romney from Utah. Both wanted witnesses. Then Alaska's Susan Murkowski, who kept everyone guessing, voting no. She cited concerns with the whole process, saying Congress has failed. So tonight, the final tally a short time ago, 51-49, voting no on witnesses. The president set to be acquitted of abuse of power and obstruction of justice. And Mary Bruce tonight on when that acquittal will likely come.
Tonight, Democrats' hopes of calling new witnesses in the impeachment trial shattered.
Ms. Murkowski. No.
Moments later, the top Senate Democrat speaking out.
It's a grand tragedy, one of the worst tragedies that the Senate has ever overcome.
Just hours before, the New York Times published new allegations from the man Democrats had hoped to call as their star witness, President Trump's former national security advisor, John Bolton. According to the Times, in Bolton's new book, he writes the president's campaign to pressure Ukraine began earlier than previously thought. Bolton describing a May Oval Office meeting with President Trump, his personal lawyer Rudy Giuliani, acting chief of staff Mick Mulvaney, and White House counsel Pat Cipollone, who is currently leading the impeachment defense. Bolton reportedly claims the president urged him to call the new president of Ukraine and push him to meet with Giuliani. Bolton says he never made that call. The president today said that meeting never happened, and Giuliani accused Bolton of lying to sell his book. But Democrats seized on the report to launch a last-ditch appeal to allow Bolton to testify, pointing to polls showing 3 out of 4 Americans want to hear from witnesses.
The witnesses the president is concealing will tell their stories. And we will be asked why we didn't want to hear that information when we had the chance. What answer shall we give if we do not pursue the truth now?
Ms. Collins.
But at the end of the day, only 2 Republicans voted to call witnesses, Senator Susan Collins of Maine,
Mr. Romney, aye,
and Mitt Romney of Utah. Alaska Senator Lisa Murkowski, who kept everyone guessing for weeks, voted no, blaming the process, saying it was rushed and flawed. Adding, as an institution, the Congress has failed. Senator Lamar Alexander of Tennessee, another holdout, also voted no, saying there is no need for more evidence to prove something that has already been proven. But Alexander also criticized the president.
This is an inappropriate act by a president. The remedy for that is the election.
The top Democrat in the Senate says without witnesses, the president's acquittal will be meaningless.
The Democratic leader has made very clear that he doesn't feel that this will be a true acquittal because it wasn't a fair trial.
Well, I think I can live with his criticism. It wasn't a fair process.
But again, those deciding votes tonight, Lisa Murkowski and, of course, Lamar Alexander, both voting no to witnesses. They needed them, the Democrats did, in order to get witnesses before the Senate, and in particular, John Bolton. Let's get to Mary Bruce. She's live on the Hill tonight. And Mary, the Senate is now preparing to acquit President Trump. The president had wanted this before the State of the Union on Tuesday, but tonight you're learning that vote won't happen until Wednesday?
Well, David, there has been a lot of negotiating about this today. Republicans are eager to put impeachment behind them, but Democratic senators want a chance to go on the record and have their say on the Senate floor. And they will now have that chance. But it also means that this trial will go beyond the Iowa caucuses and the State of the Union. David.
Mary Bruce leading us off again tonight. Mary, thank you. The development tonight, no witnesses and now likely acquittal. The president, the White House clearly pleased. Let's get right to our chief White House correspondent, Jonathan Karl. John, what are you hearing tonight?
Well, David, the White House, the president's legal team fought hard to prevent witnesses, and they prevailed. They're obviously happy about that and looking forward to the final vote next week, which the president will certainly call an exoneration. The bottom line from the president's advisors, they say that he is eager to put this behind him. David?
Jonathan Karl, Mary Bruce, our entire team in Washington, we thank you tonight. In the meantime, the other news this Friday night, the U.S. now declaring a public health emergency amid this outbreak of the coronavirus across the globe. We have now witnessed the largest spike yet in deaths in a 24-hour period since this outbreak began. New restrictions here in the U.S. Foreign nationals who pose a risk of spreading the virus will be barred from entering the country, and planes from China will now only be allowed at 7 airports in the U.S. And tonight, the 195 Americans evacuated from China and in quarantine at a military base in California have now been told they must remain there for 2 weeks. And we have just learned tonight a 7th case now confirmed here in the U.S. Here's ABC's Adrienne Bankert.
Tonight, in a rare move, the U.S. declaring coronavirus a public health emergency. President Trump barring foreign nationals who pose a transmission risk from entering the country. In effect, a temporary ban on nearly all Chinese travelers, the world's most populous country. Planes from China will only be allowed to land at 7 U.S. airports starting Sunday. Americans returning from the hot zone could be subject to 14 days of quarantine. Already in isolation, 195 Americans who chartered from the epicenter of the outbreak. What was once a 3-day voluntary observation now extended to a mandatory 2 weeks at an airbase in Riverside, California. The first time in 50 years the CDC has had to issue such an order.
We were all wearing masks. We were all taking major precautions to not touch or shake hands or take the mask off our faces because, again, we weren't in the clear.
Today, officials said no one was presenting any symptoms, but the virus has a 2-week incubation period. Officials are exercising extreme caution.
We are relieved to hear this. We don't want to put anybody at risk back home, and if this is the best way to do that, then we're okay with it.
Patrick and Ping Stockstill and their 2 young children, the eldest just 3 years old, are all stuck on the base after visiting relatives in China.
I left my family behind. I didn't have a choice, and I feel so bad that they're still stuck in China, and I had to go.
Hundreds of Americans remain stranded in Wuhan, waiting for the government to send in another charter.
I feel a little bit trapped in Wuhan. It's an interesting feeling. You're trapped, you're isolated.
Tonight, 3 major U.S. airlines and dozens of international carriers are suspending flights to China. This after the State Department issued a do not travel advisory warning against traveling to the country. Cases in China spiking with the largest jump in fatalities in a 24-hour period. 213 deaths since the outbreak began. Roughly 9,700 cases confirmed. Wuhan remains on lockdown, the city a ghost town.
And Adrienne Baker joins us from the military base where those families are being quarantined in California. And Adrienne, we know before that action was taken that thousands actually flew to the U.S. from the region, and officials were asked about all those people today, whether or not they're being tracked in any way.
Yes, that's right, David. In fact, new information about the virus is coming to light, and officials say that we will likely see more new cases. However, officials are also stressing that the chances of contracting the virus here in America still remain very low. And they also want you to be on the lookout for symptoms like heavy coughing and fever. David?
Adrienne, thank you. The coronavirus, this global outbreak affecting the economy already. In fact, we witnessed a major sell-off on Wall Street today, the Dow falling 603 points. more than 2%. So let's get straight to our chief economics correspondent, Rebecca Jarvis, at the New York Stock Exchange tonight. Rebecca.
David, after today's declines, the Dow has completely wiped out its gains for the year. And the big question on Wall Street tonight, how long will this outbreak last and how hard might it hit? Many major U.S. companies, from Apple to Nike to McDonald's and Starbucks, have significant exposure to China. And as you just heard, with a number of airlines from Delta to United to American suspending those flights to China, their stocks hit hard today. The big question going forward, how much longer does it last? David?
Rebecca Jarvis on Wall Street for us. Rebecca, thank you. Next, that dangerous incident outside Mar-a-Lago just hours before the president arrives. A speeding SUV breaching 2 security checkpoints. Shots then fired by the Secret Service and local sheriffs. ABC's David Wright is there.
Tonight, this woman is under arrest after a chaotic scene near the president's Palm Beach club just hours before his arrival. Police say 30-year-old Hannah Romehill drove a black SUV through 2 of Mar-a-Lago's security checkpoints.
This woman's driving on the wrong side of the road at 70-plus miles an hour with people all over the place.
Secret Service and sheriff's deputies opened fire, hitting the vehicle, but the drivers sped off.
We're going to fire when our lives are in danger and the danger of the public. And that's exactly what happened.
Police say Romehill then managed to pick up a passenger before a Florida state trooper located her bullet-riddled SUV at this West Palm Beach motel, tackling her as she attempted to flee to her room.
This is not a terrorist thing. This is somebody that obviously was impaired somehow.
This is the latest of several trespassing incidents at Mar-a-Lago since President Trump took office. This is where the suspect was apprehended. Those flashing lights there, that's the actual vehicle. Sheriff's deputies still in the process of searching it. The suspect faces serious charges, but important to underscore, David, the president was not here. He was never in any danger.
David Wright in Florida for us. David, thank you. And next tonight, the Ted Bundy case, all these years later, and now the ABC News exclusive. The former girlfriend of Ted Bundy and her daughter speaking out for the first time in decades to our Amy Robach.
Throughout the 1970s, Ted Bundy kidnapped and murdered dozens of women. During some of that time, leading a double life with his unsuspecting girlfriend, Liz Kendall, and her young daughter, Molly.
Is it fair to say, at least at first, that Ted Bundy was a gentleman?
Oh, completely. Put a lot of energy into making us happy, doing fun things. My parents loved him. He was just really it, in my opinion. And I really wanted to marry him.
That relationship now chronicled in the new Amazon docuseries, Ted Bundy, Falling for a Killer.
I just didn't think he could do these things.
Kendall discussed the moment a coworker showed her a sketch of a kidnapping suspect that they thought resembled her boyfriend.
There was just something about the jawline or something like that that made me think, wow, this is really weird.
Did you think he was capable of murder?
No.
Before Liz would ever be confronted with the truth, she saw a glimpse of Bundy's dark side.
Looking back, obviously hindsight is 20/20. Were there any red flags?
We'd been rafting down a very cold river. I was sitting on the edge of the raft and he pushed me in just quite violently. I grabbed a hold of the rope that was dragging behind the raft so that I could get back in, but his eyes were they just got really weird looking, and it was like he couldn't see me anymore.
You saw his eyes change.
Absolutely.
The murder I think that you felt most connected to was Bundy's last murder, an abduction of a 12-year-old, Kimberly Leach, because you were 12.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard to find words for how devastating it is, the loss of this girl and the things that he did to her.
You know, no matter how much time goes by, hearing the details of this case, it's still so awful. And there's so many questions among them. You know, why do the mother and daughter believe that they were spared by Ted Bundy?
You know, David, they want to believe he cared for them, but they also realize they were his cover. By keeping them alive, he could lead that double life, go on his killing spree undetected for years.
All right, Amy Robach with us tonight. Amy, thank you. And Amy, we'll have much more. It's an extraordinary 2-hour 2020 tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern. What we never knew. Amy, thank you. There is still much more ahead on World News.